Hi, guys and girls. Coming back to you. This is section one or section two of chapter one for 7A's Principles of Life Science. Your warm up question there is, what does ecology mean? You will have some homework that we have to do tonight. We're going to talk about the characteristics of life today. Your opening question: what does ecology mean? That was one of those four main branches of biology. They were zoology, botany, microbiology, and ecology. Ecology is the study of interactions between living things and their environment. So, ecology, think environment. So, what is something that is a living thing? It's often kind of difficult to describe a living thing. A tree is living, but why do you know? A human is living because we can move and do things. But why is a car not living? Why is a flashlight not living? To be a living thing, the correct term for any living thing, I guess to say, is an organism. There are six basic characteristics of all living things. The first one is in every textbook. The first characteristic of a living thing: all living things are made of cells. Cells are the basic unit of structure and function for all living things. So if you break that down, structure, that means things are built or made out of cells. And function means that cells do all of the necessary activities to stay alive. So yes, you can memorize this definition, but structure is things are built of cells. And as far as function goes, they do the things that keep us alive. Second characteristic: organisms need energy. Most of the energy of the earth comes from the sun. The plants capture the energy by the process of photosynthesis, but if you lived on the bottom of the ocean in the deep ocean trenches, there is an entirely different system of ecology that uses energy from the earth. It's called chemosynthesis. They use sulfur from the deep ocean vents and the volcanoes on the bottom of the ocean. Organisms must adapt to their environment. Now, to adapt takes millions of years. You don't adapt over time. Examples of adaptations: your thumb. Your thumb is an adaptation. It allows you to touch all of your other fingers and do things that other organisms don't have. Primates have what we call an opposable thumb. A primate is anything in the group that would include like monkeys, chimpanzees, orangutans, gorillas, things like that. So your thumb allows you to do many different things. Other types of adaptations could be the white hair of a polar bear. It could be the spots on a cheetah that helps it camouflage. It can be the color that might blend it in. Those are types of adaptations. Organisms need features to help them survive in their environment. Any feature that helps you survive is an adaptation. So if you're talking about a hawk, its talons are an adaptation. Its great eyesight is an adaptation. The feathers, in a way, technically are adaptations. Number four, organisms respond to stimulus in their environment. A stimulus is anything that causes a response. So it's like cause and effect in reading class. If I threw a rock at you, you duck. Well, the stimulus is me throwing the rock. You ducking is actually the response. You sit outside on a hot day and you sweat. Well, the heat is the stimulus, the sweating is the response. If you don't reproduce, your species could go extinct. The human population is so high, we're not going extinct anytime soon, but there are many species that cannot reproduce fast enough to make up for their losses in population. Elephants, snow leopards, pandas are another one that reproduce too slow for how fast their populations are actually decreasing. Organisms must be able to grow and develop. Probably many of you had to buy new school shoes this year because last year's school shoes are getting too tight. You buy different size clothes because you're going to grow and develop. You'll actually keep growing and developing your entire life. You go through spurts when you're young where you're going to grow and develop much faster. Eventually, you'll stop growing tall, and unfortunately, some of us adults grow a little bit wider, but that's beside the point. But your muscles and your internal organs will keep developing. And they actually develop and grow based on your cell division. And we'll talk about that later on in this year. So let's talk about what characteristics each one of these is. Your characteristics, is it going to be reproduction? Is it going to be having cells respond to stimulus? Is it an adaptation? Is it energy or grow and develop? Take a minute. I'll be back in a second. Pause the video and try and answer those 6 pictures with which one you think I mean. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what you came up with. So here we have lion cubs. They're babies. So this one was reproduction. Woo. The next one there, those are bacteria, and bacteria are single-celled organisms. So this one is cells. In this picture here, you have wolves chasing an elk. I'm sure the wolves are hungry. The elk doesn't want to die. So this one is respond to stimuli. Basically, the wolves are hungry. That's the stimulus, so they try and eat the elk. That's the response. The elk sees the wolves running after it, so the elk runs away. The wolves are the stimuli to the elk. The running away is the response. Well, down here in this corner, you see that you have a seed, and it's getting bigger and bigger into a plant. Well, this is grow and develop. This next one's probably the easiest. Right here in the middle, we have the sun. This is that living things need energy. Now here, I have an arrow in here to kind of point that out to you. That's the camel's hump, correct? Well, the hump stores fat, so that is an adaptation. This concludes your lesson for the day. Make sure you watch those little videos and get your homework done in Google Classroom. I'll be back next time with some more life science for you.